Welcome to Shitcoin Talk, episode 35. I am your host. I got a special guest here, Crypto Ethan.
Hello, I'm Crypto Ethan, at Crypto Ethan on Twitter. I've been trading since 2014, but I got back in the game in late May. Twitter at Crypto Ethan. That's about it.
Sweet. And we got the strongest man in crypto, Mr. Rogue.
Hey, what's up, guys? Crypto Rogue here. So, bag holder extraordinaire. Here to show you some charts and insult your coin picks.
Yes, and don't talk shit to him, otherwise we'll beat you up probably. And then we got Noose.
What's up, guys? This is Noose, same Twitter handle. I'm here surviving by picking shit that isn't overpumped and trying to join this new wave of bag holders. So it's been a good couple weeks. I'm hoping it continues.
Yeah, cool, man. All right, so we got a coin list right here. I'll read it off to you. It's 0x, which there's just added to Poloniex. Surprise. Blocknet, Ubic, Geo, Elastic, BNT. I think that's Bancor. And I don't know. Okay, MCO. Monaco. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, token card. Mu, a monetary unit. Patientory, Numerier, or whatever. QRL. I don't know what the fuck that one is.
I'm loving this list, man. It's like they're just asking. They're asking about my bags. It's awesome.
Rads, AMP, library credits, Gridcoin Research, Feathercoin, Draco, Evergreen Coin, Sonam Mothership, Bitcoin Cash, Bay, Neo, also Ant Shares, and Edgeless. So that's where we'll start today. I guess the cat or the elephant in the room is Bitcoin Cash. What are your guys' opinions on this craziness?
I'll go first. When it comes to that, I will admit that I dumped it on launch. I repeated my my Decred moment. I told myself I wouldn't do it unless I had the availability to rebuy lower, and I forgot that I said the same thing with Decred. So I sold it at 0.07, and then when it circled back, I was like, I'll buy it again later. I didn't, but I think it's not going to go away. I think it's going to be in the background, foreground for a while, and I think it's a bit more serious than ETC. And on a sentiment level, you just can't ask for a better coin to trade because there's so many people who don't want to touch it, or they dumped it for stupid fucking non-trader reasons. So a coin like this really exposes who's a trader, who's an investor, and who's just a fucking idiot.
And who's got balls of steel too.
Well, it's a mixture of things, but if you're gonna say I don't want to trade it for political reasons or something, it's just like, I know you've traded dumber shit, but it's just how it is.
That's fair. That's fair analysis. Ethan, what do you think about all this?
Well, I mean, I'm not a fan just because, I don't know, I'm not an expert, a technical expert, so I don't know if I can really chime in on the whole block size thing, but I mean, I think the way they went about it and the way Roger's going about it, I don't know. I'm not a fan. I think technically it looked great back at 0.07, but I didn't really have anything available to trade with. All my Bitcoin was locked in with other alts, so couldn't really get in, but I had a feeling it was going up. So, yeah.
All right, Rogue, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, don't care for Jihan and Roger. They're both cunts and shitty human beings, but there are deep pockets involved in it. I think the interesting thing is that the bulk of the volume is coming out of Korea, which, if you remember the massive Ethereum pump, that's where the bulk of the ETH volume came to start driving that. So I'm curious to see how well sustained that is, since they're just, I'm guessing, just trying to make money. I don't know how many of the Korean traders are into the politics like the Americans or the Western world versus the Chinese are.
I would say I want to interject there and say that there's BTC 38 that they have fucking Frozen Coin, Google Coin, and some other bullshit. So I think it's clear the direction they went.
Right. So yeah, so I mean, the Koreans are buying a lot of this shit. We'll see. We'll see how well they can sustain it, because obviously all the big Bitcoin whales have a shit ton of that stuff as well. So, you know,
I mean, I don't know if you guys remember. Sorry.
Go ahead, Ethan.
Back when Bitcoin was pumping to like 2,000, back in, I think it was December, January, the Korean and Japanese premiums were like 40%, 50%. It was crazy.
Yep.
Like if you did the exchange rate conversion, like it was sky high. So it was clear who was driving it. So they clearly, like, they have some power. They have some real power.
Yeah, they do.
Right, but what happens once they get bored and they go into the next shiny thing, like when they hopped over to Ethereum? So I mean that's bound to happen at some point. Ethereum just announced their new hard fork, so they're probably going to look right back at that here pretty soon. So we'll wait and see. If you dumped on launch, that sucks, because that's you should have learned that mistake from Ethereum Classic.
Yeah,
it was obviously going to pump at some point. Or if you dumped on exchange where it was selling for like
Jesus,
0.2 briefly, because nobody could get it to the exchange, and then you rebought it for like 0.07 to 0.09. Those are good moves, but I think every real trader knew that it was going to get pumped up at some point, and if people didn't want to touch it, it's just because they're scared or they let their biases get in the way.
Yeah. My thinking is that, so, Roger Ver or whoever has all this Bitcoin, right? And they got all this Bitcoin Cash. So they could sell all of their Bitcoins for this Bitcoin Cash at 10%. So this guy could potentially, if he could 10 times his freaking Bitcoin Cash stack with all of his Bitcoins. Like, he's basically a living Satoshi Nakamoto at that point.
There was someone on Reddit who said that, and Roger actually responded. I'm finding the thread right now, but Roger responded and said, I'm considering that. Let me link it.
Good.
Yeah, because
get him the fuck out of Bitcoin. Now we don't have to worry about him anymore.
Bitcoins he has,
he's been pretty out there about that. There's been some interviews where he's just basically foaming at the mouth, saying that he has a whole bunch of Bitcoin Cash, and that he's pretty public. He's the most public pumper there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a loud mouth, and everybody knows that Roger doesn't understand a goddamn thing when it comes to the technical issues with Bitcoin. He doesn't even understand how hard. He didn't even understand how hard forks worked when somebody first said it was a bad idea. He said it sounds like a great fucking idea. So, I mean, he's doing it for his own fucking reasons, which are mostly stupid, because he thinks he's the goddamn messiah of Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, where the fuck he wants to be.
Yeah.
I still think it can go up. Do I think it's ever going to overtake Bitcoin? Unless you start seeing hundreds of millions of VC money go into Bitcoin Cash industries like we do for Bitcoin, I have a hard time believing it will replace Bitcoin. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Why is Gavin backing this?
Why is what?
Gavin Andreessen. He's been backing this on Twitter publicly. I don't know why.
Isn't Gavin backing SegWit 2x without replay protection?
Backing Bitcoin Cash too.
Gavin,
I don't know.
I think people are saying Gavin's also looking for more centralization and control. He's salty because the core developers look at him like a moron as well. So
everyone just hates everybody, man.
Everybody has their own reason for doing it, right? So, and that's literally you have a bunch of egos driving each other. Very few of these guys, except maybe for a handful of the core developers, are in it to keep Bitcoin what it's meant to be. So
yeah, everyone's got their own.
That's all I have to say on Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah, you say BitPay has got their own agenda apparently now too. So there's all these.
Well, they're going to get sued for fraud, which is going to be fun to watch.
Oh man,
that'll be interesting. Then you get some popcorn. Well, okay, that's Bitcoin Cash. I guess that's a good analysis. Yeah, we move on to the next one. What about? I don't know. Should we just do the big one, like Neo? Because we haven't talked about that one. That one went nuts.
Ethereum, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess that's what it's
meant to be.
Yeah, that's what it was marketed as originally, and I guess it kind of lived up to it in terms of the pump.
Yeah, and thank you for Technology for stitching these charts together. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that was really helpful. I wonder how many people accidentally bought Neos.
Yeah, dude, that's what I was thinking too, because everyone's like, "Oh, Neocoin, Neocoin." I was like, "You mean Neos? Like that shit coin?" That I thought that's what everyone was talking about. But no, dude, they just yeah. So, Rogue, you got a chart for this, or should I
Give
share
me
my
a
screen?
second. Share your screen.
I can't even
Okay,
find
I don't.
a website for these guys.
Well, it used to be called Ant Shares, so that might
Yeah.
help.
But they should. Okay.
It was the rebranding. It's a rebranding pump. You gotta
Yep.
love those.
Yep. Oh yeah, dude, I love those too. So,
Oh, I got it.
AntShares was an ICO last summer or something like that?
Before last summer, because I bought some last summer on a shitty Chinese exchange when you could still do that stuff. It was like, I want to say maybe spring of last year when they did the ICO.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me look here because
And it was a horrible launch too, because a lot of the ICO buyers had no idea that they were really like second or third round ICO buyers. So the first or second, whatever, the first wave of ICO buyers just fucking dumped on them savagely. And people like it was all transparent too. But you know, like we just almost anyone who bought into it didn't do their research and didn't know that an ICO happened years back.
that's awesome. That's so good. But I guess it didn't matter in the long run because if you held on to it, you did pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
God.
mean, it only matters when it's like Breakcoin. You know, I think they're on their third ICO. Maybe they get a fourth next year. You know, who knows?
Maybe. Oh, if Bittrex will let them. Yeah, this thing I don't know. This thing went nuts, and I'm not sure that they had partnerships and some news, but I think that it was just a pump team kind of just pumping this thing to the heavens, man.
Yeah, and then you got the other coin.
Well, the only Western exchange it's trading on is Bittrex, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
So most of the demand is coming from China. So like this, I don't know.
Well, AntShares was originally meant to have a deal with Alibaba at
Yeah, that was
that was like the news last year. That's what they claimed. At least Alibaba was putting money into the AntShares Corporation for blockchain tech. Was the original thing. And that happened last year. That kind of did the first ANS pump. And then obviously they've rebranded this year as they try and I guess make
have
their
a better name
move,
for
as it
themselves
were.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I guess the name change is cool because I was like, Ant Shares, and then someone else had the ticker Ant, and I was like, why didn't those guys just take Ant? But yeah, Neo is definitely a cool name.
Yeah.
So
as far as what the coin's gonna do, we had a vicious pump. There's a lot of money that made there. I think a lot of people bought it around, what was it, 300,000 give or take.
Yeah, that first pump I think was
the first the pump. Let me see if I can share my screen.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the same thing. It basically looks like it's gonna make a nice right right shoulder and then just fucking die off.
Yeah,
it's setting up for it. Yeah.
So
that would be a massive drop though. That'd be like an 80% drop.
Yeah, this is but they've been driving so much volume into Bittrex. They gotta say thank you to Neo, I suppose.
They really have, yeah.
Well, you know what? I guess it's kind of like we already seen it, and we knew what Bittrex was doing for a long time, but this pump and some other pumps have solidified their engine. You know, their engine is now like welcoming. It's open arms, saying like, all right, guys, let's throw as much volume as possible. Because there was a period where I think the max a coin could do was a couple thousand BTC. And that's why the majority of us were on Polo.
Right.
They did everything right. And it's kind of comical. They did everything right that Polo's sort of doing now.
And Polo did everything wrong, so it helped them.
Oh, it's just not doing anything.
Yes.
Well, neither did Bittrex. You know,
right.
There was a point where Bittrex was ignoring us or saying that we were trolling them for feedback, and they didn't have any of the withdrawal issues, but they just were just not adding shit, and they were ignoring the users in terms of feedback, and they focus on their infrastructure. So,
no, now they had so many goddamn.
I mean, if we look at the if we look at the daily chart, you know, you can see the kind of that first almost pre-pump, and then went sideways for a little over 2 weeks or so, and then pumped again with much greater volume. I think that was leading into the rebranding. You kind of had that pump before when the rebranding news came out, sideways for a while, and then pump on rebranding a little bit after. Right, so it's a similar pattern. The question is, are we going to get another week or two of sideways?
Wait, are you showing your chart right now? I don't know if you are.
Should be. Is it not showing?
I think you have to choose the other screen or whatever if you have two. Because I just see me.
I chose the right one. Hang on. There. Is that one right?
Yep. Here, I'll put you on.
All right. There we go. Yeah. So you had the first pump, which is pretty much the rebranding news. Sideways for roughly 2 weeks. Then the post rebranding pump, which, you know, very similar looking patterns so far. The question is, you know, if they can hold this level up here in that kind of like high 800,000 to 100,000 range and just go sideways for 1 to 3 weeks, I wouldn't be surprised to see another leg up. However, if it breaks down, you know, the trend line is way down there, and it could easily go back to that before, you know, making another move back up. So, you know, you could buy it here, but if you do, you got to be ready to cut your bags if it starts setting some new lows, some new local lows, because it's got a lot of room to go back down if it wanted to.
Yeah, it's pretty high profile. So
I don't know how high it can go at this point.
Well, so they said about Ethereum, I guess, too, and this is China's Ethereum. So
yeah, I mean the easiest play, and it sounds risky, but it's kind of contrarian thinking, is if you absolutely have no idea where to get in, just wait for the new all-time high and buy that, or buy the dump from the new all-time high, because then you're at least assured that there was enough momentum to push it higher temporarily, versus just getting in right now and hoping, you know?
Yeah, so you're thinking something like this, Rogue, where if it holds and it kind of does this weird accumulation thing and maybe it do another leg up.
Yeah, you need that period.
If it can hold this level, it should pump back up. Otherwise, I'd expect it to break down and shake out motherfuckers, and we might have to wait quite some time before it kind of goes back up. At that level you highlighted there, yeah, that's where I'd like to see it just go and hang out for the next week or two, because that would just prime it for the next move.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a fucking eternity in crypto. You know, the main reason for sideways, beyond, you know, repairing indicators and you know, kind of you know, either prepping the books, all these things that go with it. The main purpose, in my opinion, is just to trap, you know, impatient people, and, you know, get them to sell right before the actual breakout happens, or spike the bottom, like just really piss them off, because, you know, as our main competition's goldfishes. So 2 weeks, yeah.
What's interesting though is that in my chart right now, I'm overlaying Ethereum with Neo, and right when the Neo breakout happens, when Ethereum starts its like first downtrend in July. So it looks like it might be competing for market share a bit. There's something to watch out for.
Yeah, could be.
That would be healthy.
Yeah,
I think so. I think their supply, like, I'm not sure if they're even mineable or not, but their supply is fixed at like 50 million right now or something like that. So I'm not sure on the specifics of that, but that may also play a part too. So, all right, let's move on. How about GeoCoin? That thing did some numbers this last week on news that it's becoming a Ubiq token.
Yeah.
And apparently we're supposed to find out what next coin is a Ubiq token today. Let me see if they tweeted it out yet.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they said they were announcing another coin that was going to be on the Ubiq chain.
NXT?
What?
I don't know. Hold on. Yeah, Geo's interesting. We had a kind of a pump back in June that we believe was, I think that was just a random pump group because the coin hadn't done anything. Yep. This is a Polo delisting. There are people that happened to buy it at 3K sats when it first decided to die on Bittrex. And the fucking, all it did was just go sideways for a year, forever.
Yeah.
Like barely broke out above 30K. Yeah, and it hit a bottom of, Jesus Christ. I mean, the bottom was
Don't even say it.
1,500.
I don't even want to know.
Yeah,
God
the
damn it.
bottom was about 1,500. All right, and we're sitting at, what are we sitting at right now? 58. You know, this
58,000.
pump, I mean, it matched the previous high, which kind of sucks because I would have reminded, you know, I was expecting almost a new all-time high breakout, but we
Yeah.
didn't get that. We basically tagged and formed a damn near perfect double top, weird as it is, from two kind of short pumps.
There was
So
there was a lot of walls up there at 100,000. Like I was looking and we were getting pretty close, but there were some big walls. So someone was like walling that thing off for whatever reason, maybe.
Right.
Yeah,
When
when it
the thing is, because
yeah.
it's just pumped like almost in like 3 days. There's not a lot to read from the chart just yet. You know, I think
No.
it's good. This is going to be a very fundamental / news driven move. My gut tells me a lot of big holders loaded the boat way early, and you could see almost a DNet to PivX style move coming up.
Yeah.
When it pumped hard, everybody sold because they got a sweet ×10 to ×20, and then it does the ×50 from there.
Oh man, I'm ready.
Look at that volume, though.
That volume was impressive. It hit like 2,500 Bitcoin volume, and that has never been seen on Geo before.
compared to previous pumps.
Yeah, compared to anything.
Yeah, when it comes to this, like you know, I remember I just kind of, it became a ritual for me. Whenever the hell it would spike up, I was like, you know what, Ant, don't just hold it, just sell it. It's a pump group. So I did that for the past 2 months, and I just would been rebuying back with you know, with some of the same BTC, building up the bag a little. Sometimes not the best rebuy points, but it was coming back down. It was a fucking pump group.
Yeah.
And I did that again with this time. It went to 40K, and I think my average was like 17, and I sold off a bit. And then I'm leaving work, and I'm like, oh, cool, I'm gonna rebuy that later. And then I see it goes up to like 80 something from my alarm. I run back into my office because it's just easier than fucking using shitty Z-Trader. And my coworker's like, hey, what's up? Did you forget something? I'm like, yeah, I forgot something. I forgot to fucking dump this shit right here. So
Dump it.
so I sold. I went to the weekly, and I saw that. I saw the June, you know, wick, and I'm like, this is like the weirdest thing. Like, you normally, if you're gonna see a double top, it's gonna be on a daily, or if it's a weekly, it's so spread apart. And you know, usually the farther the time period, the more brutal it is. But I was like, all right, let's do this, and I sold it off. But I still have, I don't know, a quarter of the bag, but I'm kind of scared in a way that I'm not going to get to rebuy as low as I wanted to the core of the position, because yeah, it definitely looks like a takeover. Like it's not, but it's got that feel.
It's basically got new life into it now. I mean, fuck. And then the other thing that I was thinking was like, you know, I got kind of scared that Geo might get delisted because of that low volume, but this pretty much puts any nail in the coffin that it's ever going to get delisted because it's on the UBIC tokens now. So that's pretty much a blessing, man. So
they have an interesting sort of mining method. If you guys have read about it, basically they have like a certain amount of coins on like for every like 11 square kilometers on Earth, and if you go to those like 11 square kilometers, you can like collect the coins that are there if no one's done it before.
Yeah, and that coin has been in the works forever, and they had an app and it was pretty cool, but and then it just kind of fell off, and then Polo delisted, and it's been a rough road, but
that's neat.
Yeah, man.
Novelty.
Yeah, for sure. And then they've got a roadmap that's fucking pump material for sure. Dude.
They got a pump map. That's what the fuck that is.
Dude, it is.
Yep.
On the 21st, they're going to reveal something. And then on the 23rd, they're going to reveal another thing.
That's like I said, I'm expecting, you know, a little bit of sideways. And then depending on how good the news is, you could basically see either the next leg up coming in here on the 21st or on the 23rd. You know, you might get a fake out on the 21st to fuck with everybody, which would be awesome to see, you know, because everybody would almost expect it to go back up. And if it doesn't, weak hands shake out, and then you can move it back up to the 23rd. I think it's primed for a break of the all-time high, so I expect a break of 100K. Don't know if it's going to be sooner or later. You know, they've got their launch chart, which you almost want to trade by. You know, I say if you had a nice early entry, hang on to it for now. Wait and see what it does. You know, you very unlikely it's going to drop below 30 or 40K, kind of the old high ranges that it used to kind of go and tag and retrace to. But you say it's in uncharted territory.
Yeah, it's basically it's a coin now, and there's a lot of coins that go through this where, it's always had okay development, or the developers were there, the GitHub had some activity, but it kept a lot of fundamental people on the side regardless, because there's a number of fundamental traders that they want extremely active dev, they want lots of commits, and they want a clear roadmap. So it doesn't even matter, how good the coin is or the chart or anything. To those people, their money is always on the sidelines. So when you wrap something together and, kind of say, hey, we're no longer gonna just fucking abandon you and come whenever we please, all that money pours in.
Yeah. This I don't know. I thought geocoin was like a weird. No one ever talked about geocoin, and now it's kind of out there now. So they got.
That's not true. Secrets wouldn't shut up about it for like a year.
You're right.
Secrets always talk about geocoin.
He knows all the coins. All right.
Like,
whatever.
you go through his tweets and he hypes it up. He's hyped. Yeah, he's mentioned it so many times over the past year. It's not even funny. I don't even want to think.
I don't even want to go search through his tweets on live stream, but maybe we should just go 2014.
Great. New all-time high coming because of you fucks.
Oh man, I like that guy. All right.
So Geo, room to move up. Kind of in a weird place right now since it's blew through every most of the highs and it's actually holding. Unlike before, where it just kind of came crashing down back to earth because it used to be old pump group. So looking forward to the roadmap news and see what
got a new
what
set
they
of
have
eyes on
in
it.
store for us.
Market cap is relatively tiny. It's only 7 million.
I know it, dude. All right, let's move on to something else. What do you think? Rogue, you got some charts that you want to show for any of these coins?
I got a block chart somewhere.
All right, let's do that. I like that coin.
Yeah. So block, let me show my screen here. And this chart's a bloodbath, so apologies. But block has been doing this weird moving up in steady multi-week legs, right? So it pumps up, kind of starts forming a bear flag with a bit of sideways, and then it'll pump up again and kind of create a new level, kind of just at or just above the old high. If we're looking at kind of, how we're doing it. So it's done this kind of pattern every time.
I've seen Nexus do that too. It's a pattern that basically only fundamentalists can hold, or technical guys who aren't traditional, because man, it faked me out. I mean, it faked me out in profit. I rode it from 188. I sold a lot in the 380s or something, and then I just sold. I will admit the bottom, but whatever. It was in profit. Recently on that spike down, because it's a fucking technical nightmare. Yeah, without the way you're doing it, it actually looks fucking awful.
Yeah, I know it.
Well, that's kind of I kind of caught the bull-esque flags that it kind of shapes, but it does them in such big ranges that you get faked out. If you look at the second one was 150 to 300. Like that range is a ×2. But then it pumps up to 470. So like it moves in these big ranges before it kind of settles at the next higher range. And even if you look at my chart, I got this long ass trend line that it kind of tags every now and then. We could easily dump into the 250s, 260s, and it doesn't invalidate a thing for the coin. It could go right down to 260 and then pump up, and your next range is going to be kind of in that 500 to 550 sideways repeat pattern. So the thing is, block has some
all
seriously talented Yeah, well, it's got some talented developers behind them with their exchange and all that shit. So it's one that, you know, fundamentally is really, really good.
Right.
Just the chart, like you said, Nils, if you just look at it without my markings, it's like, what the fuck is kind of going on here?
Yeah, it looks like garbage. But dude, the weird thing is it's got some eternal bag holders. So they got master nodes or service nodes or whatever. And on the market on Bittrex, like it's basically only market. There's only 100,000 coins on the sell side. And
I mean,
there's
it's got believers. Like Block
yeah.
is one of those coins that has, you know, true believers, people that drank the Kool-Aid.
I'm just glad it made it through and didn't get delisted on the way down. I mean, that was pretty brutal. That Poloniex delisting really fucking hurt it, man.
I thought that was great. I bought a shit ton when that happened.
Yeah, that was a good time. But yeah, no, it's pretty amazing stuff, I think.
Yeah,
So
I'm basically buying, like, anytime it dumps to the low 300s, I kind of pad my bag a little bit. And I'm just kind of slowly waiting for it to make its next move up. And then maybe I'll sell, or maybe I'll, you know, wait for the pattern to repeat itself. I mean, so much profit, it's not even funny.
Yeah, it's a good one. And a lot of people just think that this is like a weird pump and dump because this coin was supposedly dead and a scam and all that shit. But
well, you know, it's not even that. It comes down to the liquidity, the volume. You know, sometimes the volume is like a Bitcoin or less. Not even kidding. And and then you said, you know, the sell side has 100,000. Well, sometimes the bid side has like less than 20 BTC or something. And you know, all that scares people, you know, away. You know, they don't think about the order book in the future. They don't think about they don't think about, you know, how to play it in a sunk cost way or how to size into it. So all that scares them away until the book is nice and fucking prepped for them. Dude, and by that time, it's ready to dump.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say right now the book looks pretty goddamn good, but I mean that can just change on a whim, so I don't even look too far into that. But there are some pretty decent sized buys over there too. So
just on the surface level, it looks like a 3-drive pattern, sort of, because like with those like 3 up waves, those bull waves.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep, I see what you're talking about.
Anyone?
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying for sure. I don't know what they're gonna do and what kind of news they've got coming up. So I mean, and I don't know if they have a roadmap, but it kind of sucks because it's like we'll get to it when we get to it. So it's like kind of not the pump material roadmap, but I'll take what I can get. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
So
like this, it's definitely a coin that any sort of good fundamental news could send it skyrocketing. You know, if they have if they have some big news with the decentralized exchange, you could see this coin really move up, as people are getting sick of like Polo's shit and are looking for another place to trade besides Bittrex and Polo.
And the thing is, like, the market cap, you know, $50 million looks big, but there's been ICOs that are trying to do the same thing Block's been doing. So I mean, we'll see who
So 50 million is no longer big. In my opinion, that's a medium-sized market cap.
I'm still stuck in the goddamn. Forget about it, man.
Yeah,
you're in last year's market cap.
Size,
like,
I know. Yeah, number 100 is like 33 million right now. Like, Jesus Christ, guys.
Right.
All right. What should we move on to next? How about Ubik? I guess. Oh, do you got something?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, that's actually an interesting segue into Polo. Not to take away from Ubik, you know, we'll get to them, but they just added a fucking coin, and I'm. You know, is it even up 10x yet? So,
dude, that thing was that market cap was so big when it started that it looks like it's at about 11 or 12,000 right now. So
yeah, that's nothing. Like when I was gonna FOMO last night, and I had some issues with my FOMO.
Yeah.
But it was like, I think it was like 7.5 or something. So that's
when
nothing.
The news hit, it was like 8,000 or something. So I guess it did like not even at 2 times, but the market cap it's 282 million, and this ICO just ended 4 days ago.
Yeah.
So,
but I wonder if it's going to restore some confidence in Polo, where you know, people are gonna, you know, ask them for listings again and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. I think it opened I think 4x, you know, the kind of usual weird polo thing where if you get to the bids first.
Yep.
But you got to wonder, there wasn't a lot of reception for it.
No, no one even knew what the hell this was, really. I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I didn't. But
I don't know what it is now.
I don't know. It's a new polo ad, I suppose. That's what it is. Yeah, it is interesting that they added that, and then that's the first coin they've added since like March or something like that. Except for Bitcoin Cash.
What if Trex adds it and then it pumps sky high? Wouldn't that be fucking weird?
Yes, dude. Yes, that would be perfect. Yeah, I don't know about 0x or whatever it's called, so I got nothing here. But good job, Polo, for adding something, I guess. How about AMP? How about Scenario AMP?
Oh God.
I don't know. I don't know. Should we even the chart looks horrific, but last time I talked to, yeah, exactly. Last time I talked to somebody when it was around this price range, they messaged me and they were not new to crypto, but they were kind of exploring crypto Twitter more. And he was excited about where it was, and I was like, why? Like I said, I'm getting into this because there's a lot of upside because it's down so much. He said he was at US dollar break even, and then I pulled up. I went on TradingView. I did that calculation, and it was right near the all-time high in US dollar. So it's it's one of those coins, I guess, where fiat is running that shit.
Yeah, that new wave of people are looking at coins in fiat pairings.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, my poll that I did recently showed 41% of people that answered that are gauging their portfolios in US dollars, and that extends to the coins as well.
Yeah,
I mean, this has been a good range to buy, but it's not even just relegated to AMP, but a lot of coins right now are down in this OTE zone, if you will, the optimal trade entry, where it's 70 to 80% down.
Yeah.
Some a little bit more, where even if you don't give a fuck about the coins, or you think it's going to go lower, sizing in a bit is not a bad bet.
Yeah.
Just based on history, but it's awful. So you have to go in it with value in mind.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the chart looks like hot shit right now. This is a chart that I drew up back in July 11th, and I think the price back then was like 8K, and it just kind of dumped into my little blue box, my OTE zone.
Now it's
here.
trying to dump out of the blue box.
Well, it's trying to shape the green candle today. The thing is, it hasn't set new all-time lows, but it's pretty fucking close to them.
Oh, that's impossible. That's impossible. On Trex, it actually traded for as low as 200 sats.
Yep, you have to.
Okay. Well, on Polo, which is what my chart's for, we had the low down in the high 2Ks.
Jesus Christ.
Back
after the
in March,
40,000.
So
yeah,
it's,
that ICO was pretty fucking brutal. They did it over the market price, which I guess is a thing now, where they want to entice FOMO whales, so they don't have to go to the exchange, they don't have to really deal with any of the issues that come with trading. they could just buy in bulk. I guess it's the same thing as why a lot of people buy ICOs to begin with. Yeah. But they did that when the price differential was, pretty high, and now, I mean,
yeah, the Bitcoin Talk thread. Basically, people are arguing about people being in profit on AMP because there's no way they can be. Look, it's just a lot of garbage, and
so,
I don't know.
I mean, like somebody said, in dollar terms you could be, in BTC terms it's not a fucking chance you're in
profit. Just looks like bag holders are fighting each other, so maybe it looks like a good chance.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
that's the way you got to think. If the bag holders are fighting, it's time to look for an entry. Not saying enter, but it's time to look.
I mean, like I said, it just painted a little bit of green after fucking days and days and days of red.
Like a straight week of red. Like that was
like that little guy. We got that little guy right there.
Yeah,
he's trying to. Well, that's wrong direction. Arrow.
Wrong way. Come on.
Let's frame him.
There we go. See that little guy? That little guy? Yeah, that other guy is trying to fucking save the day here. He's trying to be a goddamn superhero. Yeah, like I said, fucking bloodbath. You know, pumped to 10K, and now we're down to, you know, prices.
We're gonna be in profit, boys. We're gonna be in profit.
So, you know, can we go down still? Yeah, we got a low down here at, you know, 3K. You know, you could still lose 50% of the value, and not be like awful, I suppose. But you know, it's done. What I've noticed is a lot of these older coins have been dumping to just above or right around their previous kind of pump highs, you know, or pump lows. So, you know, back in March when the first bull wave for alt started this year, you know, we were down in the threes. Went up to just under 30,000, and now we're back into the fours. You know, if you look at a lot of the older coins, this pattern here from, you know, late February till now is everywhere. I've seen it on
Black
24
coin,
coins.
Vert coin. I mean, there's all those older ones, that have some history for sure.
Which probably means that once they start moving up, they're all going to start moving up. Because I mean, like I said, the charts are almost identical. So I'm padding my bag a little bit here, trying to average down, because I thought, you know, we were gonna settle down here in the like the 7,000s. So I bought some there.
That little green guy's got me excited,
going
man.
down. Yeah, that little green guy. You know, let's see what he can do. Does he have any friends? Is he by himself? I don't quite know.
He could save the bag holders, man. He could save the bag holders. I'm telling you.
So that's
it.
You know. Give us some non-shitty news, like just don't announce another ICO, whatever they do.
Please don't. All right, that's all I gotta say for him. I always feel bad looking at that chart. It's like, it's just, don't look at me. Like, all right, what about these ETH tokens? You guys know about any of these Bancor, Monaco token cards, etc.?
I mean, I tried actually reading the banker white paper, and like it gave me a headache. Like, I get the principle of it. It's literally what it is. It's like it's using like.
He doesn't even know.
Tried to read a white paper, man. Well, at least you're doing God's work here.
It's just like you have a reserve of other coins for your coin, so you can always like exchange it at some sort of like calculated market rate. I don't know. Like, I feel like it's gonna be arbed until you have no reserves left. I don't understand. I feel like it's bleeding money.
Yeah, Ethan.
Well, it is,
Ethan, you're a smart dude. If you don't understand that shit, I'm not even gonna try.
I mean, even like Emin Gur-Sir, the Cornell professor that everyone hates on Twitter, that guy, he can't figure it out. He wrote like a critique of it.
He's like, what the fuck? Hello?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say.
Some of these, I just can't follow the ICOs.
It's actually one of the shittier performing tokens too. Like, you know, when everything was popping off.
Pumped.
Exactly. When
shit of a chart. Good God.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This chart is like it's death in a chart. Like, this is a chart for a coin that is just saying fuck you repeatedly. The problem, you know, all the ETH tokens, because they're so new, they're all impossible to trade off the daily. So you have to go to the lower time frames, generally like a 4-hour chart, to get any sort of serious number of candles. A lot of the ETH tokens have pumped aggressively. Bancor is one of them that hasn't.
Don't they?
Yeah.
Don't they have a little cool off period after the ICO, and then they pump? Like, that's what
this is a long ass cool off period.
Yeah, no, this is taking a cool off, a smoke break, fucking. It's just too much.
Writing his resignation letter to his
this is a.
You know what? I might
2 months of just
I might buy
dumping.
it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I might buy it.
I mean, I kind of like this little sideways section we got down here. Like, finally, just.
Hey,
this
Rogue,
guy,
look at the ETH market, Bancor ETH market too, because that thing looks like it's just been flat. But
no, that's the one to look at. Like, you know, I'm gonna put it out there because I don't give a fuck. Like, no, like I don't have any trade secrets. You know, all the ETH submarkets of the coins that have ETH submarkets look better than the BTC markets.
This does look a lot less shitty.
And that right there, I think, is what you need to, focus on. And I'm saying this because I want people to buy my fucking bags. I have a lot of these.
Buy our bags.
Because like if you're like fun flash BTC bag, dumps to shit. Look at the ETH market, and yeah, it's gonna have less liquidity, whatever. But the reason why it's higher is because those ETH holders, either they have stronger hands or they're not, they're not bitches. Who knows? But it's definitely telling that the strength is in those markets. So.
Yeah.
And I mean, in the past month or so, Ethereum has been relatively stable. Like Bitcoin has been like causing the Bitcoin like deflation of like other cryptocurrencies, like in relation to Bitcoin, that's made their charts look like shit. Like Ethereum, like it's had its ups and downs over the past month, but like it's moderately stable, like around $300, right?
Yep.
So it's actually showing sort of like,
Yeah.
Yeah. This is like, I think the boom that's coming up, and maybe it's hyperbole because I want it to happen, is an asset boom, and in particular, ETH. I don't know about waves. I think NXT can go fuck itself.
Yep.
But when it comes to ETH assets, I missed the first couple waves. I'll admit. Like I have Edgeless, and I bought that shit at 18. I didn't buy it, earlier, but whatever. Like I'm all about that, big third fucking wave, and I think we're gonna come up on it soon.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
That would be interesting because if we did, we'd see the same problems with Ethereum, right? Like where the blockchain slows down because of the ICOs.
Well, if the coins are pumping themselves, I don't think that would wreck it.
Right. I'm thinking, what if that spurred demand for other like Ethereum like coins, like I don't know, maybe Neo or Ubic or something. What if like Ethereum does have these issues, and then these people who want to do ICOs or create these tokens think, okay, I want to create a token because it's a hot market, but I don't want to have like this incredibly slow Ethereum blockchain. And I know Ethereum, like Vitalik's trying to deal with that, but still, like
I think that's why Ubic is adding their own tokens and stuff too.
Ethereum did just announce their next hard fork either yesterday or today, Metropolis, which is meant to help resolve some of these issues and add some features for like anonymous transactions and privacy and shit like that, which in my opinion is only going to increase the number of tokens on there because now you have more features. Plus you're cleaning up some of the shit that makes life difficult. Obviously the biggest issue, like you mentioned, is the network congestion. So whether or not the Metropolis fork can fix a lot of those problems remains to be seen. If it doesn't, and people, either add tokens to take advantage of this functionality or add that functionality to their existing tokens, it's going to be a clusterfuck of immense proportions because it can't handle all these coins on top of its blockchain. Yeah.
And it's going to hurt ICOs too, because you can't send the money in time to actually get to the ICO because the blockchain's backed up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, it's experimental software, and then like you get billions of dollars worth of coins and shit flying around everywhere, and it's not going to.
But you know what? But you know what's important for it, and extremely, is that the way they have marketed themselves, and I've said this numerous times. I know I'm a broken record, is that it is experimental, and that hard forks are necessary and good for them. And they did plan these hard forks way in advance.
Yes.
So all the stigma of a hard fork that Bitcoin has, Ethereum doesn't have it at fucking all.
It's not contentious. That's why. I don't think.
What's that?
It's not contentious. That's the issue. Everyone's on board with this hard fork. Everyone says, okay.
Right. It's a pre-planned hard fork. Because everything like you just mentioned, their hard forks were literally in their roadmap. They've got another one planned after Metropolis. They've got 2 more hard forks coming up. I think the second one is to finalize the proof of stake functionality and a couple other features. So their dev team, there was that bit of the fracture right when Ethereum Classic happened. But for the most part, the people behind the scenes of Ethereum and God King Vitalik are all on the same page with what they're trying to do with the coin. Whereas in Bitcoin, you have 5 different sides, everybody trying to get their dick hard and be who's the the big hot shot in the space.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's fair.
Interesting.
All right, next coin.
Next coin. Wait, how long have we been on this thing? 50 minutes. All right, we'll do like one more, and then I'll do a little roundup, see what you guys are looking at, mining, whatever.
Let's get this
What about-
list.
What about rads? Or we're gonna do Ubik. I guess we should do Ubik.
We gotta do
Yeah.
We gotta do Ubik. All right, they saved our beloved Geocoin.
They did.
Um,
Ubik,
Ubik looks good. I like
it does
it.
look good. I say the chart, it's done what everybody else did. It pumped in the bull market back in June, and now it retraced and it's doing some nice sideways action. It's got a long-term trend line that it's basically tagged.
Yep.
Which is always good to see. And it's kind of doing a bit of a sideways after dumping in this range. You can see it dumped and now it started going up and down sideways. Yep, right there. So, it can keep going sideways, keep playing this range before the next leg up. Next leg up will start whenever the next alt bull run starts, basically. So, this is a good spot. I'd look to try and, I wouldn't be afraid to start my bag here. I wouldn't full size it. And then I'd definitely look to add to it every time it dips down into the, into the 30s. Yeah. Like in my opinion right now, anything below 40 is a buy for sure. It just depends on your how strong your fucking hands are, and how much blood you can stand holding.
Yeah, this bounce was nice.
Crypto space.
This
cut
bounce
bags
was
out of
crazy,
5%.
dude.
Yeah.
So I mean, so it touches that trend line.
Fucking
You can
shot
still
up, dude.
touch it again before the next leg up, but as far as I'm
Now
concerned,
it's some serious volume,
the chart
too.
looks great.
Yeah, the volume, that's true. That's very telling.
Yeah, I think that's partly of them, adding coins, their existing coins, and people thinking that they're a viable platform for
Yeah,
their tokens and stuff, for sure.
JApp's done a great job. I don't know half the coins they add. I'm just happy they're adding them, and it seems like all the ones they have, there's obvious popularity or user requests. Like I said, I don't know where they're coming from, but there's enough volume and there's enough kind of recurring orders that you pretty much give any new coin on Trex 2-3 months now, and it should pump.
Yeah. Yeah, they did good. And the Ubik brand, I mean, at first I was like, what the fuck is a Ubik? But I mean, it kind of grows on you too. It's got a nice little ring to it and stuff. So, dude, good.
Yeah, chart looks
should we
good.
do one more coin, or should we just should we freaking wrap it up?
I don't know. Is there anything that people really want to talk about? Is anything really worth talking about? I'm just looking through kind of part of the list.
I don't know.
Nah, I mean, Rads is
Nice.
shit.
Rads is one I was
shit.
looking at.
FTC's shit.
XEL
Draco's
is
being
definitely
weird.
shitty.
Feathercoin been around since like 2013 or something.
Feathercoin? Yeah.
Feathercoin?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's been around since before I was around.
Yeah.
A lot of coins.
I mean,
there's some old ass coins out there.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, let's just do our little roundup thing. See what you're looking at for this week or whatever. I guess we haven't done a show in 2 weeks, so Noose, how have the last few weeks been?
Last few weeks have been fucking amazing. I finally got through cutting through a lot of these bags that I had been buying, on the way down, which is not my primary strategy, but I was doing it with decreased risk and with the aim of selling bounces. It's totally not my best strategy, but it was a way to make money while everything was going to shit. And I got to a level where there's just no more bounces, that looked good. So I cut those bags, and then I just embraced these new markets. And a lot of them happen to be ETH markets that they just have less resistance. They're newer. They were coming off all-time lows. And I started piling into them. And, MCO looks like it can go higher. I don't know if I want to get back in. ADX looks like it can go higher. But I'm just sitting on a lot of these bags like Decent, what the hell is this? Patient Tory, Miss, the hell, Gup. What is that?
Guppy.
I don't even know what the fuck I have. Oh, Matchful. I'm storage. I took a shot there. I like that chart has been always shit. Like long term, you need a weekly chart, but it's got a new one. It's got a new symbol, and it's an ETH submarket. So I'm really bullish on just coins that just have less butthurt. You know, like less butthurt, less resistance. Where you search on the ticker on Twitter, and you just see nothing but fucking noobs. You know, you might see some people, you know, sprinkled in, but if it's got noobs, I want in, because they find the shit that accidentally makes them money, you know?
Yeah.
So that's where I'm in, you know, buy my bags. I fucking tweeted out a bunch of tickers. I'll tweet out some more. Like, trust me, guys, like, you know, we go down together, or, you know, we go to fucking Valhalla, you know?
Amen. Ethan, how about you? How have these last few weeks been?
Well, last few weeks have been kind of iffy. I've been sitting on altcoins, not in Bitcoin, so they've been kind of bleeding for the past few weeks. But in the past few days, they've spiked. Now my portfolio is almost at all-time highs in terms of US dollars. But I mean, I'm only playing with like a couple hundred noose. I mean, I got my only Bitcoins that I'm trading with by selling noose, like $100 prepaid Visa. Like, that's how I have my trading.
Yeah, I brought you back to this degeneracy.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
I thank God you did, though. I love it. I'm so glad to be back. But I mean,
man.
I did well when everything was pumping. Everything's kind of deflated. I haven't done as bad as, you know, I could have. So that's good. But I mean, now I have some more Bitcoin coming in on Gemini. So I'm looking to buy some more alts, because I'm only in like 4 or 5 right now, just so I don't have a whole lot of money. But, you know, I'm looking to get into more. There's a lot of opportunities out there.
Hell yeah, man. Good to have you back. Drag you back in here. All right, Rogue, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I put on my scuba gear and I went diving into the rivers of blood that we've seen the past few weeks. I mean, it's been really good and really bad. You know, I held way too many of the older altcoins, and they all just fucking committed harikari and just bled out like motherfuckers, and just kind of bought my own blood, sometimes way too early, but that's what you got to do. Some of the ETH tokens have treated me fantastically. Really had some nice big wins on those. Geo was a great win as well. Bought that shit when it got delisted and just fucking held on that thing for eternity. Starting to look at a lot of the X11 markets, because we are going to see a disgustingly huge influx of X11 ASIC miners here starting in September. But man's batches are coming out. I got one shipping here in September. And I'm thinking, you know, if you've looked at Dash, you've probably seen Dash is sitting new USD all-time highs like every 30 minutes or so the past week. Yep. So I'm thinking or speculating that could be a pre-buy-up before the ASICs get here, and then makes mining less profitable, and then just kind of holds at the new higher range. So I'm kind of looking to see what other big, good X11 coins are out there that could start doing the same thing before, you know, those ASICs start hitting the market and we see the difficulties skyrocket everywhere. Mu being kind of the most obvious one. I think that's the next biggest X11 coin after Dash, and then look at a couple of the smaller ones that people, you know, might overlook that I can load my bags on.
Dude, you are not kidding on this Dash spike, man. This is.
Look at the USDT chart.
Well, this guy that went from friggin' 0.56 over to friggin' almost 0.08. God damn. Yeah, I'll look at that.
The USD chart is
very
like I said, it's just all-time highs. So, you know, they're pretty good at protecting their money. The Dash market makers, the Dash whales.
They're wild, man. I like them.
So, like I said, I'm basically taking that gamble. Yeah, I'm taking that gamble that you know, all the like X11 coins are going to kind of follow, you know, follow the leader, I guess. And we'll see how well that pans out for me.
Wow, this is wild. This is fucking nuts. Okay, that's amazing. Holy
shit.
Yeah, no joke, huh? Yep, that's for me. Just, you know, I got some D3s on the way. Gonna start breaking down the X11 hashes. Started buying some alts, just really small fixed risk positions. I tweeted out a few tickers. I got a lot of bids waiting, so I'm trying to get get my feet wet. Other than that, not too much going on. I'm mining Ubik and Decred. That's going very well. Shit, that's about it really for me. Not much else. So, yeah, hopefully this will be another good week of trading for sure. And,
all right.
Yeah.
As always, folks,
Awkward.
be smart.
Buy
Buy
your
our
bags.
bags. And we'll
Yeah.
see you next time on Shitcoin Talk.
Pump our bags. Yep. Yep. Twitter. You know, you get it. You understand. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be back. Have a good day. We love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
God damn it.